is, well, first of all, board number 9 is named after Bayard Rustin. I've gotten some background from Bill now on some of these, the namesakes. And Bayard Rustin was an American leader in social movements for civil rights, socialism, nonviolence, and gay rights. Rustin worked with A. Philip Randolph on the March on Washington movement in 1941 to press for an end to racial discrimination in employment. Thank you for the background, Bill. Our board lineup looks like this. In Austria, we have Nick Amatangelo from Nebraska. In England, we have Douglas Rintoul from Pennsylvania. In France, we have Eber Condrell, a weasel from Illinois, a high schooler, as we mentioned before. In Germany, we have the tournament director, Bill Hackenbracht, playing from North Carolina. In Italy, we have Eric Silverman, the brother of our esteemed analyst, Adam, coming to us from Minnesota. And in Russia, we have Melinda Hawley, a longtime hobbyist, coming to us from Alabama. In Turkey, we have Randy Thompson, playing from Canada. All right, let us go to the board. And I'm sorry, Siobhan, is there any of these guys that you want to make a comment about?
A number of them are longtime face-to-face hobby players. Eric Silverman, Adam's brother, obviously, Bill Hackenbracht, who is running this event, and Melinda Hawley. Eber I only know through these streams, but I've seen some really promising things from him.
All right, let us go to the board, and we will have you break down the East right off the bat.
Let's do it. All right, there doesn't seem to be a ton very exciting in the East. The only thing of note that jumps out is Venice walks into Trieste. So over the next few seasons, I'll be curious to see if we think that was planned or not. Otherwise, Turkey fairly standard, Austria very standard, Russia very standard. So wake me up in another season.
I think this is the first time that we've seen a Venice get into Trieste, isn't it?
Succeeding getting into Trieste. This is the first one.
Yeah, surprising actually, because that's something that has become very common, at least in the Chicago hobby.
And we've seen it a lot on these streams.
Yeah, trading it for a strong AI. And we don't know. We know Eric is in the Minnesota club, plays a lot. We don't know much about Nick, but if we see Naples if we see Ionian go to the GNC here, then we definitely know that's the case. And that's one of my favorite ways to play an AI personally. Doug, welcome back. And we got the West for you. Tell us about it.
All right. England opens up pretty standard, goes to Yorkshire, North Norwegian, no conflict in the Channel, and Germany opens up with the most popular German opening. I would just point out that Marseille went to Burgundy. This is a smart opening. You want to make sure that no matter what happens, if you're not going to the Channel, that Germany can't get into Burgundy and that Italy's not in Piedmont. So, just securing the bases, making sure that you've got play on everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to fall of 1901 and stay in the West with you, Doug.
We've got wow, love this. Burgundy walk to Munich with a convoy to Belgium. Let's get off on a fast foot here. England's in Belgium and France is in Burgundy. And Germany bounced in Sweden. So, Germany doesn't have any friends.
Lots of excitement over here in the West and also in the East. Siobhan, I think
East, yeah.
we have a little bit of historical background that you can give us on what happens here.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing from the comments that Trieste was absolutely planned, as apparently the Austria player loudly announced to the board in the group chat, at which point I believe that the Turk did absolutely the right thing and bounced the Italian out of Serbia, forcing him to remain in an Austrian home dot instead of being allowed to walk through. I think this is going to force RT to be stronger than ever. So nice try and lucky Italians to keep it.
So this is, but to be clear, these set of moves from Austria and Italy are the classic and original Chi Lepanto moves. And the reason why they are rarely done is because they are so easily countered in the exact way that Turkey has done it. And Austria just has no future at this point. Or if they do, it will be through
it's not a great one.
Through some really surprising and interesting diplomacy. So, all right, let us yes, we've talked about both. So let us move to the winter 1901. The builds find an army for Ankara in Turkey that is interesting, actually. you could have made an argument for, especially with no fleet in Ionian or Greece, could have made an argument for fleet Ankara here. And well, all right. Oh, I'm sorry, getting too far into analysis. We have an army and a fleet for Italy, army for France with the one build. Very interesting. So there was a wave here, then, yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't hate that. You want to? Yeah. No, I don't hate that. You can't get enough armies into the center of the board right now. And you want to basically send a message to England like, yeah, we're working together. If you aren't working with me, then I'm putting a fleet down. Otherwise, we're going great. This is a good move by France here.
Okay, you like it too, Siobhan?
I think I do. Yeah.
All right, and France's Bill Hackenbracht, who is a very experienced and a very solid player,
but also somewhat distracted today.
Yeah. He's really pulling double duty here since he's running the tournament. So
yeah, exactly.
Thanks for stepping up, Bill, and playing as well.
All right, Doug, talk us through spring of 1902 moves in the West.
So first thing, France is grabbing Spain. Okay, that makes good sense. You can't defend Munich, so you're stopping and blowing up units. So this is a good move. It doesn't matter. You can't hold it, so you're just going to retreat. He gets into Ruhr. And then England is convoying over to Holland, and Germany is dead at this point. Germany is just utterly savaged.
And the retreat to Bohemia, only place to go, but also not a bad place to go if you're France.
No, that's fine. Your goal is to get back into Munich. So it's a fine place to go. Or maybe somebody gives you an offer and says, hey, I'll put you into Vienna. So I'm okay with it. It's the only place you can go, so you don't want to pull that unit.
Yeah. It's a, I mean, he can guarantee himself by going back to Munich, but he can also set up a really interesting forward position if he wants to. All right, Siobhan, tell us about the East.
Russia realigns to put the army in Romania. Italy and Austria scramble to take Serbia in 02, which it's a fine position, I suppose. The Italian armies are coming up around. Who is actually working with who here? I'm loving, even less, I'm loving that single fleet for Turkey here. But we'll see where it goes.
Got Russia on side though, so not getting punished yet.
You very much have Russia on side, but now we've got Austria and Italy and Greece and Ion who can go wherever they want or force you out or
they're almost in the position that they should have been in after 01.
Yeah. Russia misorders to St. Pete.
Oh, North Coast. It doesn't hurt him though.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt her at all, and possibly better to be in Bothnia at the end of the day.
Yeah, you might be able to get Germany to support you into Sweden. You never know. I'm not sure why Germany went to Baltic. I don't know that was necessary, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's push forward here. Fall of 1902. Siobhan will stay with you in the East.
Yeah, let's do it. Who did Bulgaria support?
Bulgaria supported Trieste into
Serbia. Okay, that's an interesting shift. Russia takes some time to grab some dots for himself in Budapest. The Austrian unfortunately loses Greece and the possibility of Serbia, as the Italian sees an opportunity for a complete realignment to an IT.
This is fascinating, right? Turkey supports Italy into Serbia, and Italy supports Turkey into Greece.
You really can't trust these Silverman guys. And
I mean, look, if you're Italy and you're ever going to do this, help a Turkish fleet forward when they can't build in Smyrna or Khan is probably the time to do it. Yeah. Okay, and what about the West, Doug?
With the assistance of the kind Russian, France gets back into Munich, and Germany loses Kiel and Holland and Denmark. That's called bad.
That hurts.
4-0 in 1 year, yeah?
Yeah, I mean
4-1.
4-1. I mean,
Berlin.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I will say here is not much you can do. when Bill snuck into Munich, this was sort of settled. You probably in that situation, it's a question: do you want to protect Munich? But at the same time, if you don't do that, you can't bounce Russia because all you've done is antagonize Russia, and you want Russia to be your friend. So let Russia be your friend.
You're going back to Fall of 01.
Yeah, I'm going back to Fall of 01. Okay. I do like the support into Sweden, but you left Denmark wide open. It's like, yeah, it's not a good position. There's nothing that he could do at this point.
All right, let's push forward into builds here. And what we find are a lot of new blue units on the board, including Fleet Liverpool, which suggests a strategic realignment in the West. We see France getting a fleet down, but it is in a different place.
Possibly on the wrong coast, yeah.
Yeah, but it may not hurt him too much. We'll see. There's a lot of... it's not that easy for England to crack into France here. And then in the West, sorry, do you want to comment on that, Doug?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the ideal build, is what I would say for France, but it's fine. You're going to be in the Mid-Atlantic Ocean, and you can cover Brest with Paris. And England is still vulnerable in Kiel, Holland, and Belgium. You're going to and Norway. I'm not sure I want to pick this fight right now. I think I want to put armies and try and channel them into the center of the board. I think this is premature.
So Liverpool, you would rather see a wave or an army there?
Yeah, I would wave. And then, if I don't like what France does, I say, I can reverse the game on France and say, like, well, remember, I've got to build in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, you've got plenty of stuff to go after up here, right? Sweden, St. Pete. Maybe even talk your way into Berlin. Plus, this, it's the tournament director. Make friends with him. Okay, let us move ahead into, and we have the devastating Fleet Ankh, although this presages plus the cooperation between the two presages a possible attack on Russia here. Let's see if it happens. Siobhan.
A whole lot of red arrows for Turkey. So just a whole lot of nothing. Thank you very much, Austria, for playing. And Warsaw to Galicia. I mean, not a whole lot's happening over there.
If this was like a good read by Randy, if he just sniffed out that this was going to happen, well done.
Yeah.
Like that's not an obvious move on Italy, on Turkey's part. And also, if you're Italy, you really should be going to the Eastern Med here.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah. Slower attack, but so what? Okay, what about the West? Doug, tell us about it.
I mean, I like the hack stack of, French armies, like in the train, he's going, Paris to Burgundy, Burgundy to Munich, Munich to Berlin with support from Kiel, wham. And it all works. And at the same time, he holds, this is some moxie. I love Bill. He holds his fleets and England goes north. So we've got a pretty strong EF. And Bill wins my Moxie award of the game. All his units in a chain, takes Belgium and Berlin, and holds his fleets.
So you're saying this is the boldest hold that you've seen today?
Yeah, I think so.
Why does Belgium go to the French here? That's the one move here I don't quite understand.
Yeah, I'd be curious if that should be a bounce, maybe, or maybe it was the one defensive play he was willing to do. I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Well, maybe he'll walk out into Ruhr.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. In this instance, maybe they're pre-planning, the St. Petersburg swap, saying, hey, you're going to get Sweden and St. Petersburg, I get Berlin, you give me Belgium, so we stay closer or something.
Yeah, but then maybe that should happen next time.
Yeah, I mean, it does put him even at the end of this turn, and that's my guess as to why.
All right, let's have a look here, and what we find is just what you said, that this puts them even, and that works for England. So that sort of does the West. What about the East, Siobhan?
The East, we get some decent movement out of Turkey this turn, who just walked out of Greece, which is
Curious. Yep.
Curious. Well, but I mean, we've got the guess. Are we going to get the bounce in Aegean again? Did Italy see that he was bounced out of Aegean and said, well, maybe he's going to do that again and I can walk into Greece behind him, which clearly he did. So, you know, it's those 50-50 guesses are tough. So, Randy, you got it right once, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, it's always tough. It's always tough when you win one of those 50-50s and you have the exact same 50-50 coming up again. It's sort of like the rock, paper, scissors psychological battle at that point.
Are they going to go rock again? Or are they going to change it up? Or,
And that's right. And some people, it's worth saying, some people are good at making those reads, actually. Like some people are good at rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. And so for other people, it's just literally a coin flip. I've watched diplomacy players walk away from a table, take a quarter out of their pocket, and flip it and say, whatever it tells me is what I'm going to do.
Do you think they really do that?
I have watched them flip it. Whether or not they hold themselves accountable is between them and whatever god they may or may not believe in.
It's a good psychological trick, though. Even if you know you're not gonna, like, you know, you already what you decided, you just flip the coin so that the other person second guesses whether they have a good read on you or not. All right, let's push forward here, and in the build phase, we see Fleet Brest popping down now, and Army Marseille. England is static and fairly well committed to the eastern part of this board. Italy puts down an army, and Russia is forced to pull their fleet. Doug, who do you most want to be on this board?
You know, I think the answer is pretty obvious that, you know, I want to be France in this board at this point.
Agreed.
Yeah, you agree as well, Siobhan?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think, you know, I get the argument for parity in the alliance, but this seems to me a case where parity means that France is ahead. There's a lot of cases when that's true in an alliance. So, all right, let's keep going here into spring of 1904. And Doug, let's go to you in the West.
And we get the stab. You know, I like Doug moving back down here to London. That's probably a good call. But you know, you're losing Kiel. You got pulled into St. Petersburg. You know, this is going to do a little bit of pain on England, I think, here.
You wouldn't rather see North English Channel and then Norwegian to North Atlantic if you're pretty sure that the stab is coming?
I mean, if I'm pretty sure that the stab is coming, honestly, I might convoy Denmark to Yorkshire and say, okay, come on. You know, and then not worry so much about St. Petersburg and just put my fleet in Skagerrak and Norway and just dare France to come on. It's when you get overextended and you don't have that support at home that's the problem. You know, being in London is not bad. You know, it's not the best, but he can still convoy back home if he needs to. You know, and Ruhr gives him some play. It looks like, you know, Russia's leaving them alone to have this fight, and that's the interesting thing.
I mean, yeah, England has a guess. If he can win the guess over here, then he gets a build, and then he's in much better shape. If not, Siobhan, tell us about the East. Is there anything worth talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was napping. You know, it's a whole lot of nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, Turkey, I think, is experiencing toxic shock syndrome from this history. With, I mean, this just says I just don't want you in Eastern Med.
Yep.
Whereas working out some sort of deal, going to black, and getting some dots up there gives you more growth opportunity. All right, let's move on to fall of 1904. And Siobhan, there's some more black arrows I see in the east. Let's take care of those before we head over to the west.
All right, we got some black arrows. Ankh moves back to Khan. Smyrna gets out into the Eastern Med. And then we'll see. There's some guesses, but probably just locked up there with the fleets for the rest of eternity. And Russia takes Vienna, which is fun.
All right, Doug, take us through the west.
Oof,
this cauliflower soup.
Yeah. Position here. France is in the North Sea. Traded Belgium, where he can retreat to Picardy to go to the Irish and to try and go to the North Sea. That hurts. That hurts bad. And you know, it's not the end of the world for England, but it's not good. You know, he got Ruhr piffed, but it's not going to be enough at the end of the day here. Bill has pace. He's got a decisive advantage at this point, and has built a build coming. Actually, he doesn't, because he lost Belgium. So
no, he's got 2 to put down. He's picking up St. Pete and Belgium losing Kiel, but has a piff. So he has a build plus. I'm sorry, did you say Bill or?
I was saying Bill.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I might have wanted to move Leon back home to Spain. Just no reason for it really to be there. I guess you're covering Marseille, but you can cover that wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only weakness I see here.
If England had moved Denmark to Kiel, and there really was no reason not to do that, would have bounced Bill out of from getting into Kiel, and would be putting 3 units down.
Yep.
And Bill would not be getting that build.
I mean, if you look at Bill's orders, what he was clearly expecting is Ruhr to Kiel supported by Denmark. And so he set up to, create that, neither one are moving. And, England outguessed him, but didn't follow up with the correct move, I think, from Denmark, which you identified.
Yeah. So, so this is a soupy mess, and you like France's position better here.
I mean, I only like France's position better because, England has to use Sweden, St. Petersburg, and Barents, 3 units up there to defend, 3 dots. But Norway's exposed. Edinburgh's exposed, Liverpool's exposed.
But he's putting 2 units down here, London or England.
Yeah, it's not good.
All right, let's see what the builds are. And actually, before we do that, Siobhan, real quick, between England and France, whose position is worse?
Is worse?
Yeah.
I think in the long run, England, there's a lot of interesting play, but Bill is a master tactician, and I don't think England wins this fight.
All right, let's see. We got an army and a fleet going down for England, and Bill did. Bill didn't get a build because he went up 1, down 1. Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, he lost Belgium, picked up Kiel. Wow, so he would have been pulling 1. So Denmark to this is the missed opportunity.
That would have been brutal.
Yeah. Okay. Let's believe the game ends right here.
They call the game here.
With England on top. Oh, well, so actually, if you're England at this case, no harm, no foul. You finished, you topped the board. You missed out on 1 dot. That's it.
All day, every day.
Yeah, I mean, you take that dot, and, I'm not sure if Bill is playing this game and he's not the tournament director, I'm not sure that he takes this draw necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe, he's got to worry about Italy rolling in, and, he's got some other problems. He might just be like, well, I've got a second in this, and that's good enough. So, but good job, Doug. I mean, you managed to hold it off and get the board top under really seriously pressured circumstances.
Siobhan, is this the right outcome for this game?
I don't think it's the right outcome, but I think it makes sense. The note that Bill was the tournament director. I don't often see games called in 1904, or at least not ones that I'm involved in. But I think well done, Doug. Whether it was through diplomacy or just through sheer exhaustion of everyone on the board, you got the right result for yourself.
All right. Congratulations to Douglas Rintoul. And that brings us to a close of our first pass through the games.